Alright, how's it going, guys? My name is Lockhart, and I am here to just give a quick input, my 2 cents, if you will, on what I think about Aether Gazer, and to be honest, why I kind of prefer it over PGR, or otherwise known as Punishing Grey Raven. I'm going to go over some of the aspects that kind of are more meaningful to me. They're, probably unpopular opinions, but that's just me. First is going to be character design. The fact that they're not like half cyborgs by the time you get to like further awakening them, I think is kind of a plus for me. I'm not like super big into the whole cyberpunk aesthetic, so to just have like the more human with like a bit of like cybernetic infusion is fine. I'm not, again, it's just easier for me to just not think that, like, these people are getting tortured into having to be stronger. Except then you have this guy who has like a, crocodile head almost. But for the majority of it, like, you have your basic typical tropes that come with something like this. Lots of samurai swords. You have this character that I feel like always pops up in different versions of games and anime. Obviously the name is Azura, so you got that too going for it. And this person who also looks like a character from another game. We won't talk about it too much. I found that when the game first started until now, it has gotten a lot easier. So you could start off your entire day doing missions and basically collect the majority of these big box rewards by just doing a single operation with max turns. And by that I mean, if I go into, let's say, one of my farmable quests, and I need some monies, I can go here, go to max, so it'll be 4 times the loot, spend about 120 swigs, and be able to kind of get the majority of my rewards right then and there. Now, when it comes to that portion of it, the grindier portion of the game, I find that they do give you quite a bit. It's not that bad. You also have like your typical things that you will get in your materials, where you just basically open it up and get a bunch of coins. I'm just gonna call them coins. You do get your fair share of their version of gems in order to do your pulls. The pulls are called scans. You do get, when you start the game, you get 1 free pull here, which is where I got the Tsukuyumi, and you get 40 free pulls from the standard banner, where I got 2 copies of Azura, which is, I think, pretty good. And then you do get a 1 guaranteed copy from here, where these functors are basically what are going to enhance your characters, which will take me to the next part. The enhancement portion is actually a lot more easier to kind of navigate and understand. All your skill enhancements are on a single page, and there's not like 30 different versions of them. You have your weapons, which you don't really have to sub out. The only thing you sub out is the functors here, right? So if I want to change, I can just go to this one, let's say. I can just transcend it 5 times, and then boom, that's it. Done deal. There is no additional leveling. You don't have to level and then level, transcend, level, transcend, level, transcend. That's just for your characters and your weapons and your sigils, which are pretty interesting in terms of gearing up. You do have to level and transcend to get to 40, but then you can also customize by enchanting and getting 2 sets, and there's different ways to do this. Again, this isn't like a full game review, it's just my take on what I like about it, and all of these in terms of building a character are super simple. It makes the game a lot easier, so you're not spending a gratuitous amount of time trying to kind of have fun and min-max your characters. Now, the combat, I think, is where I get a lot of what I prefer over PGR, because games like PGR, Genshin Impact, Honkai Impact, you do get like a couple of characters that you can use, but you're only really ever using them one at a time. This is almost a little bit opposite to that. So let's just go to your sigils real quick. So I'm just gonna farm because I have to. So sorry, let's just go to commission. We're gonna go to this one. So you can technically auto farm in this game, which is what I do sometimes when I'm just doing my basic dailies to be done with it very quickly. But if I want a little bit, you know, if I have to play a little bit more just because it's a difficult content, then I'll switch to one of the characters and go into it. There is controller support, if you must know, and I feel like the controller support is very smooth and very responsive. I haven't done it in a second, so it will just take me a quick minute to get used to it. Perfect. And as you can see, the other 2 units that came in with you are actually on the field. And the best part is that they use their skills, they use their autos, and they help build your rank meter, which is on the left there, which is now an S, which is awesome. So when you're kind of just going through the story, you could put yourself as like a long range character, as you're being one of them, and almost sit back as long as you have 2 really strong DPSers running through it, and you don't have to do anything, and they'll clear the content. And the only thing that won't be to your advantage is if you have to play something really hard and it requires you to get to like a here. So I'm going to give you guys a single example. Just gonna switch over here to the Poseidon, and then I'm just gonna kind of sit here because again, it is a farming stage, even on the hardest farming stage, and you're gonna kind of notice that they're just gonna go out and go ham and really clean up your mobs for you and get this done, because there isn't a boss monster, and these guys are cleaning up super fast. They'll combo, but the thing that'll make it a lot easier is if you can just attack once or twice and really get within range, so that way you can hold on. I think they're gonna finish it before I even do anything. That's already done. So that aspect of it is nice. I know PGR, you have your skips and stuff, but throughout like your normal game and your normal gameplay, being able to have all 3 characters at the same time is nice, you know, and it's characters that you can pick so that you can do team building. And what I mean by team building is, when you have certain characters together, they do have stronger ults, and so their ults will actually help a lot. So Tsukuyumi's has hers with this character. Rahu has hers with this, but then you have some that have like multiples. So this character has one set here, and then you can see the whole thing, and another set here, which also offers like a totally different advantage. And that's just cool because animations to these will change, and the alt animations are actually super awesome to watch. They're really good. And the other thing is that when you're in a stage, you don't have to worry about RNG and wanting to like pick up, like making sure you get this certain amount of pings together so you can do like a certain amount of damage. You just have to attack, all your skills are laid out, and they just have a cooldown, which is, you know, again, keeping life super simple. You do have other challenges too, like this is a totally different game mode, this is a totally different game mode. This one is more of like a, you know, the bigger the team you have, the better rewards you'll get over time. So I need to do this like at some point in time, but like this is the one I haven't done because I've used my A team on this one by accident. I've used my B team on this guy, and I actually don't have a C team to go through this content, so it's gonna be a little tricky. And then you have the hazard zones, and you get better rewards as you go through them and get better difficulties. Past grudges are like kind of like a boss mode. You kind of breeze through a certain amount of stages, and you do get rewards for them as well. Each tutorial is kind of helpful. It'll actually teach you about the characters and the combos to use with those characters as well. This one right here is probably one of the most interesting characters because she's like Invoker from Dota, so if you understand that reference, you'll probably understand that character. So it's for the people who know how to combo and be able to combine 2 skills to make one. And the story mode is not too big, so very easy to get through. It probably took about a day. if even, to be able to get through to chapter 9 and really go through the story. And the story's pretty good. I don't want to do any spoilers. And of course, you have the hard mode to go through them again and get further get rewards. Now, overall, what do I think? I mean, it's decent. I think it's a different take on a game like PGR, and it's a lot easier to get through, a lot easier to play, and a lot easier to drop. So you're not like, whereas in PGR you have to do a lot in order to get through your daily missions. I feel like it's a lot easier. Again, I might be wrong. I haven't actually played PGR in quite a while. And character designs, gameplay, I think overall are just nice. And it's nice to have a game that you have to stress out about. You just kind of pop in, do your thing, and then hop off. And it's actually kind of, I know it's like with a grain of salt, but like a gacha game that actually somewhat respects your time. So that way you're not overdoing it. So that's it. If you guys have any feedback, or maybe I missed something, or have any opinions of your own, please leave them in the comments, and like and subscribe. I'm trying to kind of start something here and hopefully be able to do more of it. But yeah, that's my 2 cents. Thanks very much. Have a good one, guys.